Something is happening today in Tesla stock that you need to know about as an investor in Tesla. We're going to get into it here in this video. We're going to look at the option activity for Tesla, all of your breaking news, and what in the world is also going on in our markets. Small caps are outperforming. That's a key here. So is Tesla. What do you need to know? Well, we're going to get into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, because it's free 99. It costs you less to hit the like button and subscribe than to breathe air, oxygen these days. So let's go ahead and get into it. So today we had some data come out, and really one word to describe this is Goldilocks. It is the ADP employment change. Private payrolls increased by 103,000 jobs. The estimate was 128,000 jobs. So you were lower than Wall Street's estimate, but not too low. See, the markets, they're not going to like recessionary data. If this number were to come in too low, today would be a lot different than it is. You would see stocks across the board probably crashing. The NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, probably down around 2% if ADP were to come in, let's say, negative today. That did not happen. But you also didn't see a super hot report also. This is the Goldilocks zone that we continue to be in. And that is why small cap stocks are outperforming today, and also Tesla stock. So recently, small cap stocks have been outperforming as we have really gotten a lot of Goldilocks data. Goldilocks data suggesting we're not really heading into a recession, but the economy is slowing. Inflation is also falling. This has increased the rate cut amount from 2 rate cuts to 5 or 6 rate cuts in 2024, as per what the markets are currently pricing in. And we'll take a look at that here in just a second. Tesla is in this weird middle ground where it's kind of being grouped with the large tech names that have been falling recently, that have not been performing all too well. Because why would they? Why would you buy Apple or a Microsoft heading into 2024 when rates go lower? That would make absolutely no sense to any knowledgeable investor out there. Tesla, on the other hand, has got grouped in that category just because it's a large tech name. Today, something is changing. Tesla today is being grouped in the interest rate sensitive sector, as I think this is a trend that will likely continue. As you do continue to get more Goldilocks data, Tesla stock probably starts to perform like a Russell name, which is kind of a crazy concept to think about because it's far from a smaller mid-cap stock, but it is very interest rate sensitive. And especially as we head into 2024, I mean, there's so many attractive things about Tesla. Obviously, all the potential catalysts that are coming, the extension to the $7,500 tax credit, FSD into China in December or January, a potential licensing deal for FSD, the presumed announcement of the Model 2 coming some point in 2024, EPS estimates falling over 40% within the last 12 months. Tesla has already begun the process of raising prices in China. If that happens globally across the Tesla lineup, I mean, Tesla's margins are going to be in a good place. The business is going to be in a good place. No recession, no problem for Tesla is essentially the long story short. In that case, interest rates falling are going to be really positive for Tesla. Same is true with small and mid-cap stocks. So what I'm trying to say here is Tesla has been grouped into the category of which stocks that you really want to own only if we go into a recession, Apple, Microsoft, etc., that don't really benefit from rates going lower. Today, Tesla is being grouped in the category of small cap stocks that will benefit from rates going down, that will benefit from the economy avoiding a recession. Ultimately, I think that's what is going to happen. So I think Tesla stock, this could really be a change of sentiment for Tesla. and it's a big deal you need to know about. Marquise Brownlee's Cybertruck video is now his 11th most viewed video ever. Cyberbeer is now 2,500 credits in the referral program, down from 5,000. Bloomberg says reports of an electric vehicle slowdown have been greatly exaggerated. Quote, sales of passenger EVs are on pace to hit a record 14 million this year, up 36% from 2022 in the US. Sales are growing even faster and will be up 50% this year. I mean, we already know this because we report on the data each and every single day, but a lot of people don't understand. EV sales are not slowing down as some of these news outlets and media sources might suggest. Tesla has launched tire protection plans in California. Prices start at $35 per tire. The plan is designed to provide a safeguard against unforeseen incidents. Plans cover 12 months following the initial purchase and installation of a new tire from Tesla. X News Daily is reporting XAI is reportedly seeking to secure $1 billion from equity investors, and the company has already raised approximately $135 million. Elon Musk commented and said nothing is being sought from anyone. It seems like financial media just wants to paint this picture about Elon and his companies anytime that they can get. And that picture is they're struggling. They need to raise capital, things of that nature. It seems like there is a real campaign that takes place against Elon every single day. This is some pretty big news today. Tesla is reportedly planning to restart construction of the third phase of the Giga Shanghai factory, which is dedicated to producing a new $25,000 USD vehicle, local media reported. This is really good news. If this vehicle is manufactured and produced in China, margins should be better because it's cheaper to build vehicles in China than in the US and Europe. And you're pretty close to the demographics that are going to want these $25,000 vehicles. The Middle East, you can easily transport vehicles there from China. The Asian region itself, India, a lot of different areas that are actually going to be the market for this $25,000 vehicle. Well, they're pretty close to China geographically already. This is also another good sign that this $25,000 vehicle could be coming sooner rather than later, where a lot of analysts on Wall Street expect this vehicle could be like a 2030 thing. This could actually be like a 2026 project, or maybe even 2025 we actually start to get deliveries. That is my expectation. If it took 4 years for the Cybertruck, which is stainless steel and bulletproof, to get that manufacturing down, it shouldn't take all too long to get a smaller, more compact EV to the production line. I think that's a safe assumption. This really has little to do with Tesla, but Elon Musk says SpaceX is tracking to launch over 80% of all Earth payload to orbit this year. And here you can see just the sheer amount of launches and satellites that are sent to the outer atmosphere via SpaceX. You can't compete. China can't compete. India can't compete. Other, companies definitely cannot compete. Really, this should be something all of us are proud of here in the US. Instead of bagging on Elon, this should be a proud kind of achievement. Tesla's X account shared this. Federal $7,500 EV tax credit will reduce to $3,750 for the Model 3 rear-wheel drive and long range on January 1st, 2024. Take delivery by December 31st for the full tax credit. Tesla is now using fully autonomous drones at Giga Berlin. This post from Tesla Manufacturing's X account says, welcome Pathfinder and Opportunity, our fully autonomous drones at Giga Berlin. They accurately count up to 12,000 pallets a day each. Tesla has started inviting some early reservation holders to take delivery of Foundation Edition Cybertrucks, which start at $120,000. Foundation Series Cybertrucks are fully optioned and includes limited edition laser-etched badging, premium accessories, charging equipment with PowerShare home backup hardware, all-terrain tires, FSD capability, and more. It also comes with free lifetime premium connectivity. Stellantis CEO just said something crazy. He says he expects before the end of the decade that automakers could start to drop out of the market because of the electrification transition. In the US and Europe, Stellantis electrified vehicles are break even, he said. Poland reported 555 Tesla sales and 5.5% market share for November, 33% of the Model Y and 66% of which being the Model 3. Model 3 sales are up 326% from last month, and year to date, you are 287% higher than the same period last year. Japan's numbers are not looking so hot. For Japan, it's estimated about 300 Tesla deliveries took place in November with 1.7% market share. Year to date, this is 11% lower than the same period last year. New Zealand reported 566 Tesla sales and 3.9% market share for November. Year to date, that's 24% lower than the same period last year. South Korea reported 3,563 Tesla sales for November. Get this, this was the best quarter ever after second month of the quarter and 685% higher versus the same period last year. Germany reported 4,923 Tesla sales and 2% market share for November. Year to date, this is 14% higher than the same period last year. I should also point out that Germany is in a technical recession right now, so 14% higher than last year's number might not sound like a lot, but when the largest economy in Europe is in a recession, 14% is quite a big deal. The UK reported 1,648 Tesla sales and 1.1% market share for November. Same is true here. The UK is also not doing fantastic, and they're still up 15% over the same period last year. Tom Lee with Fundstrat shared this post from Sawyer Merritt, how you can get a brand new Model 3 in the US for as little as $27,590, including the federal EV tax credit. Tom Lee shares this and says, this seems like an incredible deal. Hedge funds and institutions today have placed 729 option trades on Tesla, totaling $117 million with a positive order value of 73%. That is very impressive. If you take a look at the volume today, 58.5% of the volume is to the call side and 41.5% of the volume is to the put side. That is also pretty dang impressive. The dollar amount currently sold short is $21.46 billion. Tesla remains by far the most heavily shorted stock on our markets. And I do think as this change of sentiment, this change of reflection of Tesla, well, does continue, you're probably going to see more money flow into Tesla, and that's going to put the shorts in a really, really bad situation. Tesla's Cybertruck search activity on Google just hit 100 as we expected it would. You're also seeing an uptick in the Model 3 as well as the Model Y. Looking at global inventory numbers, the Model Y is soaring higher today. The Model 3 is jumping pretty strongly as well. The Model S and the X are continuing to actually nosedive lower. Tesla continues to run about 300 different ads globally. The percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average is uptrending a little bit today to 73.03%, up about 2% on the day today. 10-year Treasury yields continue their plummet down over 6 basis points, and your 10-year Treasury yield is now at 4.11%. This is also positive for Tesla stock. You can really see the outperformance when you look at some of your other big tech names. Nvidia is down about 1.5%. Apple is down about 0.25%. Apple at one point today was down almost 1%. So Apple's recovered a little bit here, but still red on the day today. Microsoft down about 1%, and Tesla is up about 1.5% today. TLT is up 1.43%. That is good for your banks. Your unrealized losses, well, are starting to get a little bit better with banks, so that's good for a potential second round to the banking crisis. Oil is down 3.5% today as well. That is also good news for inflationary pressures. And the dollar, we'll go ahead and refresh this chart, is pretty much unchanged, which I find interesting, but that's better than the dollar being, you know, higher substantially today. And gold is up about 0.6%. We want to see gold come down. We want to see gold chill out here because, I mean, gold's rally recently is really strange. It might be the canary in the coal mine, if you will, saying something is not quite right out there. So if gold does reverse and start to go lower, that's going to be good news. But the chart at this point does look pretty strong. We will also have some earnings coming out today and after hours, as well as tomorrow. Today and after hours, you have C3 AI, GameStop, Chewy, Viva, ChargePoint, Braze, Semtech, Sportsman's Warehouse, Oxford, and Duckhorn. Tomorrow morning, you're going to get Dollar General. That's going to be your big one that could actually move the broader markets. Depending on what Dollar General says, that's going to be a big deal. Now, Thursday and after hours, you have Broadcom that will report earnings, Lululemon, DocuSign, Smartsheet, Restoration Hardware, Smith & Wesson, and Vail Resorts. Broadcom and Dollar General, definitely the most important ones. So that is going to do it for this one. In the next video, we're going to be going over a lot. What Walmart just warned about, as well as the historical performance of November's. This November was up about 8%. 27 out of 30 times in the past where November was up 8% or more, the markets tend to be higher, 16% higher on average the next year. So some historical data is suggesting next year could be a strong one. And if next year is a strong one, well, it's going to be really strong for Tesla. There's also some recession fears out there. Some people are making the argument for recession. I just don't quite believe that. We'll talk about all of that and much more. We're going to look at the technicals for Tesla as well, a little bit more in depth in the next video. But that's going to do it for this one. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you made it to the end of this video. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, come get notified every time I make a trade. Link down below in the description of this video. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.